Hey guys, it's Stephanie Brown. I am trying something new. A couple weeks ago at work, we got to sit down and speak with a video marketing expert. And after listening to him, we're recording educational segments. I guess I should give a reminder for those of you, it's been a minute. For the past year, I've been working as a knowledge coordinator at Professional Photographers of America, which has brought me to Atlanta, Georgia. So I've been here for just over a year. So that'll get you caught up. Anyway, so we're listening to this guy, and as we're recording these educational segments, because I'm in the education department, and I'm listening to him talk about how powerful video is and how meaningful it can be, and talking about your why, and giving people an opportunity to really connect with you one-on-one through a digital space with the camera. I thought, what if I did that with my newsletters? I've been dragging my butt with my newsletters. They've gotten less and less frequent. I started my newsletters back in 2014 when I was working on Norwegian Cruise Line cruise ship, the Epic. And I mean, honestly, just to help the day go by, I was just speaking to guests on the ship as often as I could, and we'd have all these long conversations, short conversations, and slowly but surely people kept asking me what was next, and I had no idea at the time. And then they would ask me if there was a way that they could keep up with me, and I didn't really have a way. My website was fake updated. I mean, I had just graduated from undergrad, so what do I tell them? So I just started telling people, I don't know, but give me your name and your email address and I'll send you an email. So I started emailing people that wanted to give me their information, like individually. And then by the time I got to like 10 people, I thought, isn't there a thing called MailChimp? So long story short, I started doing newsletters for that reason. I just met so many incredible people all around the world working on that cruise ship that for some strange reason had a genuine interest in me, and I really wanted to be able to foster that connection and continue that communication with those people, and a newsletter was the best way that I could. Life happens, and I of course fell off the newsletter train every time I moved, every time I had a new job, lots of different reasons. And then it got to a point where newsletters were either happening when something monumental happened in my life or when I would remember. So I'm hoping that with these videos, I'm just going to give it a try with this one. And I'd like to do a video once a quarter, like I was wanting to do with my newsletters. So this is officially fall, and before November is done and Thanksgiving arrives, which is tomorrow, I promised myself I was going to get this video out. So here we go, video. So to get you guys up to speed, I've been working and living in Atlanta with Philip Fleming, who has recently become my official husband. So we got married on October 12th in South Florida. It was fabulous. And after living together for 3 years and being together for just over 5, it's definitely great to officially have his last name and to just kind of move into a new step with our relationship. So thanks for your love and support on that. Next major update that has occurred. Earlier this year, I did send out a newsletter in the summer announcing that I was going to have a solo show at the Appleton Museum of Art. That exhibition was super great. We had a great turnout. I was able to collect reviews from people. I sold some shirts. Those shirts will soon be available on my website once I can get around to that. With the Do Not Bleach work, this is actually one of my first interactive installations outside of my thesis exhibition that I did at University of Michigan. So it was really great to do that in a new space. It was even better to do it in my home state of Florida, and it was even better to do it at a space that I visited before, and in a community that I actually spent a year and a half in, Ocala, Florida. So that was great to be able to connect with that community again and make that connection as my first museum show. With that work, it was really important to me to engage with people, not just through the installation itself, but via a workshop. So the museum fostered a relationship between me and Pace Center for Girls, and we were able to do a small workshop later in the summer surrounding my exhibition and about constructing identity. So that was a really fun opportunity that I had. So there's 3 big things that happened this year, 2019, specifically in the fall, and specifically since since I last sent you a newsletter. 3 big things have happened. So the show at the Appleton Museum closed on October 19th, just a week after my wedding. I got married, like I said before. And the 3rd big thing is my relationship with TILA Studios went from just being a TILA Studio member to being a TILA Studio Garden Fellow of 2019. All right, what's a Garden Fellow? And maybe I failed to remind you about what TILA was before, but here's a reminder. TILA Studios is an arts advocacy group here in Atlanta, Georgia. Their entire mission is to empower Black women artists to not only create work, but showcase their work. They have worked in this community for a couple years now, really advocating for the Black women artists here, giving them opportunities, and they even have an Above 4 campaign, which is all about promoting the value and increasing the value of Black women artists, and really highlighting that we are here. We are not strange unicorns, and there are tons of Black women artists that are thriving, and they work really hard to ensure that more Black women artists get to thrive and get to seek new opportunities that will really increase their value in the art market. Okay, so what's the Garden Fellowship? The Garden Fellowship, in short, it's a lot of things. It's really great. But in short, it is a $20,000 investment in the individual art careers of 5 Black female artists here in Atlanta. And out of all of the applicants, I am so honored to say that I was one of those 5 selected. Now, this isn't a kind of fellowship of like, all right, here's the money, go and do your thing. It's really a professional development fellowship. Now, it's essentially a year long. Soon after we were selected, we kind of swooshed off into all of the things that needed to be prepared. Studio visits. We had a session working on CVs, bios, artist statements, just reworking all of those things. It was really important to have our web presence and our just online social presence in general all together. That's another reason why these videos might be really great too. Just another space to add to that, and another touch point where I can connect with people that actually give a crap about where I am and what I'm doing. And I appreciate you caring. So this video is for you, and all of my discomfort in making this video is for you. The big highlight event of this fellowship are 2 things. Along with the 4 other amazing women, we are journeying together from Atlanta to Miami for a 1-week, all expenses paid trip to Art Basel. Now, not only is this a trip to Miami to go to, Miami Art Week, first week in December, but it's an opportunity to actually show in an art fair. I have been dreaming of being in an art fair for the longest. So this is a huge deal. We will be showcasing work at the Prism Art Fair. I'll be providing links below. The catalog actually just went live, so I'll be also sharing that link for you as well. This is an opportunity for me to sell my work again. I have not sold work, photography in particular, in a really long time. I really started this year wanting to ground myself in the community in Atlanta, which was part of the reason why when I learned about TILA Studios and what they did last year, bringing female artists to Miami, I was like, wow, I'm so grateful that God brought me to Atlanta, because they brought me to this opportunity. And being a part of that community has already been so valuable. And now being chosen to be a fellow and finally having the opportunity to showcase artwork in an art fair is huge. What am I most excited about, you might be thinking? I'm trying to remind myself that I'm excited. This is a huge opportunity. I'm not going to lie. I am a little nervous. Maybe even a tiny bit terrified. But it's still feeling so surreal. Finally, I have the opportunity and the funding to print my work, my photography in particular, at a scale that I always dreamed of, to work with a professional framer and to see those pieces framed. You know, I was nervous because some of the work is a little older, but it's work that I saved for a reason. It's work that I created and I saved 5 years ago, and 5's my favorite number. And someone very sweet told me about how important the number 5 is in transitions. So 5 years ago, I made this work, and when I made this work, I knew in my heart that this work deserved to be on a larger platform. And because of that, I never really showed it. I might have shown it a little bit online. I printed a kind of smaller version for a couple shows, but I never showed the work all together. I never showed all of the images from a series together. I never did. And I did that on purpose because I was saving it for a larger opportunity, a larger platform like this. I think I'm at the stage in my career where I'm really ready and excited to take my photographer and meet my future collectors. Start to figure out, where do I fit in this art market? What is it like doing art fairs? Is this for me? Will my work be receptive? So I am going to Basel and Prism Art Fair, nervous and excited. So grateful and appreciative of TILA for giving me this opportunity to be there. And I've got 3 goals. So my 3 big goals for Miami Art Week: commissions, get me to another art fair, and representation. Those 3 things. Those are kind of my big goals. Not to say that I better leave with those things. I mean, let's speak it into existence. Let's speak it into existence that I will get the opportunity to showcase at another art fair. And if it's international, that would be even better. Lagos Photo Festival, my eyes are on you. And so showing at another art fair would be amazing. I'd love to just be in communication and network with people who could possibly make that connection for me. I would love to start doing commissions. It's a platform that I've actually been working on rolling out all year long, but it's not public yet, so stay tuned for that. But I'm excited to create a format where people can actually commission me as a photographer for my style of black and white nudes. The same way you might commission a painter or an illustrator to, depict you or your family or anything else in your style. I'd like to apply my style of photography and commission work for people. So more about that later. And the third thing I mentioned was representation. There's a lot of work that I do, and there's a lot of work that I want to do. And of course, I'd love to do it all on my own, but that's not realistic. And I want to get comfortable and practice what I preach and honor the fact that I cannot do everything by myself, and there are professionals and people out there that can help me. And after going to grad school, my work has just grown so much. My breadth of work and my areas of interest have just grown so much. I truly consider myself an interdisciplinary artist. And I don't say multidisciplinary, but interdisciplinary, because I'm interested in the intersections of multiple different mediums. And photography is always going to be my heart, my soul, my bones. It's how I see, it's how I compose the world through that lens, literally and figuratively. But having someone represent my photography will give me the time and the freedom to start to navigate some other bodies of work that I'm wanting to do that are more research based, the interactive works that I'm interested in doing and expanding on from graduate school. I mean, I've just got so many grand ideas either sitting on paper or halfway done or started but never finished, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to expand upon those. And having someone represent my photography will give me a stream of income from my photographic work that will allow me to focus on those things and in those areas. So that's kind of it. I say that's kind of it, like I didn't just mention some really huge things. I know I mentioned some really huge things, but I'm grateful. I do have one last bonus piece of news to share. I had a goal in 2020, post-wedding, of course, because weddings are expensive. Post-weddings, I had a goal to finally have a studio. Graduate school spoiled me. It was the first time that I ever had a studio, and as small as it was mine. And it was the first time that I was really able to figure out, well, what is my artist methodology, and how do I work, and how do I think, and how do I process thought to get from an idea to a complete gallery ready piece. And I formulated that. And to formulate that and to thrive in it and exist in it, to just pack it away and put it in a storage unit, is heart-wrenching. So I had a goal for 2020 to have a studio. I figured that that was a realistic and honest goal. Post-wedding, post-final car payment. I figured by then I would be at a better spot. So, of course, being the planner that I had already researched all the different studios in and around Atlanta that I could potentially rent. I was getting an idea of pricing and all that stuff. But then I realized that there was only one studio on my side of town, and it was a cute little spot called Little Tree Studios, and they did not have a lot of turnover. So I went ahead and I put myself on their wait list. I've been on their wait list for about 3 months or so. And I was just like, all right, God, I can't afford this right now, but come 2020, if they could have an opening, that'd be great. And lo and behold, literally a week after I came back from my honeymoon, I got an email saying that there was a studio opening at Little Tree Studios. And it was right in my budget. And it's a little bit bigger than the studio that I had back when I lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan in grad school. And I love it. My heart just burst with excitement the moment I saw it. It just feels so great to know that I can finally fully unpack. I just feel like I'm really doing this thing. Like, I am not going to be that young black female Jamaican artist from Delray Beach, Florida that just said she was going to be an artist but never actually did it. Like, I am making strides, you guys, and finally having a studio of my own outside of my home, I'm just so pumped. I'm just thrilled. I won't be able to move in until after all of this Art Basel stuff gets out the way, because that's been really time consuming for me. But as soon as I come back, this is going to be a thing. So I'm really excited. Future videos will probably be there. I'll save that for the winter newsletter, how that ends up working out and everything. But I'm really pumped. I'm really excited to have a place that I can bring my future collectors, that I can bring future sponsors and people interested in what I do, and just allow them to be in my space and see how I work. And just, I don't know, I felt legit before, and now I feel even more legit now. I didn't need a studio to validate me and my craft, but I'm just so grateful that I'm at a point in my life where I can afford both a place to live and an art studio. And I'm just so excited for the opportunities to come that will just allow me to continue to grow and expand. I have so much that I want to say as an artist, and the studio is just the first step to allow me to dive deep again into my artist methodology and really start to explore everything that I have in store. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully this newsletter does well. Hopefully you enjoy this more than the written email. Feel free to let me know if you still prefer the written email via MailChimp, or if you like this better. I have no idea. I'm doing this in support of you as a thank you, and because I honestly, truly want to share with you this journey. This is a journey, and I mean, it's my life. So I appreciate you guys being interested in coming along for the ride. Till next time, bye.